My name is Alex Matovu. I'm a Ugandan, and I've had the privilege of participating in the Financing for Development course that we've just completed. I am a lawyer and very passionate about development issues. I deal a lot with investors. I deal with government, public sector, especially in trying to raise funds to finance both short and medium-term and long-term projects. The specific challenge that we have seen in Africa is that, first and foremost, it's important to appreciate how far Africa has come. 30 years ago, Africa was seen as that dark continent where there was not much opportunity. Today, Africa is actually seen as a haven for economic growth and prosperity and prospects even to foreign investors. And interestingly, this development has very much been driven by the small and medium-sized enterprises, which happen to contribute about 80% to the employment levels in Africa. It contributes about 33% to the GDP of the different countries, including Uganda. And so the challenges that are faced with the SME, it's important that they are addressed. It's important that something is done to see that those challenges, there's a solution to those challenges, as sorting them out or giving them solutions actually will contribute to sustainable development in Africa and maybe in our situation, particularly Uganda. So what we intend to address is the issue of access to information. We know that whereas investors come to Uganda and they want to invest, the challenge of accessing information still exists. Now you would wonder, why would such a challenge exist, yet we are in a very high-tech world, and Africa is known to be a continent where there's a very, a lot of interest that people have in IT. I think the solution lies in us being able to develop a digital platform that can be a one-stop center for all information that is needed for investors to access and be able to invest in the different sectors. So what I would suggest that we come up with is actually a platform that can gather financial information that is pertinent to the different sectors, say manufacturing, agriculture, and all the other sectors that investors might be interested in. This process would require us to have financial statements obtained from the different companies, from the different sectors, combining that information and being able to prepare or to collect that data and be able to set up a database. That database would have to be deployed onto the cloud and also have a tool created to enable access to that data. Now, what would the risks be in such a venture? Of course, it would need funding. It would need, to be funded for it to be able to take shape. And I think this funding can actually come from government. Why I think it is government is that this would be a one-stop venture that would enhance the environment, the investment market or environment in Uganda. And I also think that once it is done, it's stuff that is done once, there's availability of labor, because we have many graduates that come from engineering school, from IT and finance that can actually help to develop this platform. So my other help or hope that I think we can have is for us to ensure that the private sector also gets involved. There can be funding from the private sector, because the ripple effect of easy access to information is that actually projects become more feasible, they become less expensive, and that way it helps to deliver the products from the different sectors to the consumers at more affordable prices. So I think that in a way benefits both the private sector, it benefits government, it benefits even the manufacturers or agriculturists themselves. In conclusion, I hope that this project can begin to take shape. I work with a number of young people that are willing to have this done. We would use it as an incubation center for them in terms of building their skills, but more importantly, the effect it would have would be to enhance or provide financial solutions and be able to allow us to have information given to the private sector and to the investors. I think lastly is the issue of data protection. We know that, of course, when you ask for such information from companies, they'll be concerned about data protection. In Uganda, we have the Data Protection Act and many other laws that are coming up to protect such people who will be giving us the information from issues of cybersecurity challenges that we would have. So we think that that law, well utilized, would ensure that once that platform is developed, it's able to have protection given to whoever gives us the information. That way, I believe this solution will be a good one for this country and for the continent at large. Thank you.